of railway freight. It's the hidden network that brings, well, almost everything you own right to your doorstep.
So, think about this. You order a new washing machine online. A few days later, bam, it's at your house. But have you ever wondered what really happens in between? How does that heavy box travel, say, 1,500 miles across India? Well, I'll tell you, it is not just a simple trip. It's more like a high-stakes race against time, a really complex financial puzzle where every single minute counts.
So to really get a handle on how this all works, we're going to do something cool. We're going to follow one single shipment on its journey from a factory in Pondicherry all the way to a home in Polwal. Along the way, we're going to uncover all the secrets of railway logistics.
All right, first up, booking the Steel Stallion. This is all about securing a spot on the tracks. You see, the whole process starts way before anything is even loaded onto a train. The very first step is locking down those huge steel wagons. And believe me, it's way more involved than just buying a ticket.
So the first thing you have to do is book what's called a rake. Now, a rake is just the industry lingo for a group of freight wagons, or dabby, that you book for one specific journey. It's important to know you're not booking the entire train, just your own little section of it.
But here's the thing. You can't just call up and say, hey, I need a rake. You have to go through a process called indenting. Basically, this means you have to pay a pretty big advance fee to the railway. Think of it like a security deposit on an apartment. It's the railway's way of knowing you're for real before they assign their valuable wagons to you. Okay, so you've booked your rake. Now comes the intense part. Section 2, loading against the clock. This is where every minute literally costs money. The second those wagons are officially assigned to you, a countdown begins. The pressure is on.
Now, the railway isn't totally heartless. They give you what's called free time. It's this grace period, usually about 7 hours, to get all of your goods loaded up. And during this window, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's free. The clock isn't ticking, and you're not being charged for the wagons just sitting there.
But, and this is a huge but, don't get too comfortable. That free time isn't a friendly suggestion. It's a hard and fast deadline. The second you go over, even by 1 minute, the penalties start. And this penalty has a name, demurrage. This is where things can get very, very expensive, very fast.
And demurrage isn't just some simple flat fee. Oh no, it works on a slab system. You can kind of think of it like surge pricing. The longer your delay, the more you pay per hour. So the financial hit doesn't just add up, it actually multiplies. It gets worse and worse exponentially.
Just look at how quickly these costs can spiral out of control. The real kicker is that the charge is calculated per hour and per wagon. So let's do the math. A 1-hour delay for a 24-wagon rake, that's about 3,600 rupees. Manageable maybe. But let that delay stretch to just 8 hours, and suddenly you're on the hook for over 30,000 rupees. You can see how a seemingly small delay can turn into a huge financial headache.
Okay, so you think the demurrage fees are bad? Well, buckle up. We're on to Section 3, the railway's hidden fees. Because it turns out the final bill is about way more than just the distance your stuff travels. The railway has like a whole menu of other charges that can pop up.
Let's look at two of them, demurrage and shunting. We already know demurrage is a penalty for taking too much time. Shunting, on the other hand, is a fee for movement. It's what you pay the railway to physically move your wagons around inside the yard, maybe to get them in the right order or onto the right track. So one's for waiting, the other's for moving.
And believe me, the list goes on. There's wharfage, which is a charge for just using the railway's property. There are TIA charges for account inspectors. Then you've got local transportation costs at both the start and end of the trip, plus unloading fees. Yeah, that final bill can get pretty complicated.
You know, one logistics expert we spoke to just summed it all up perfectly. He said, "Railway hai, bina iske to kaam chalta nahi hai," which translates to, it's the railways, work just doesn't happen without this paperwork. And that really hits the nail on the head. Every single charge, every little delay, it's all documented. That paper trail is absolutely everything. Without it, the whole system grinds to a halt.
So the goods have finally arrived at their destination, but the process isn't over yet, not by a long shot. Now we get to Section 4, following the money trail, or how everyone actually settles up the final bill. And you guessed it, it's just as winding as the tracks themselves.
Okay, so let's walk through the payment cycle step by step. First, you pay that big advance to indent the rake, right? Then, as the train is making its journey, all those other costs we talked about, freight, demurrage, shunting, they all get added up.
Finally, at the very end, the railway issues the final bill, which is called a money receipt. They subtract the advance you already paid, and then the company settles the final balance. Simple in theory, but lots of moving parts.
And that final document, the money receipt or MR, is absolutely critical. This isn't just a piece of paper you can lose. For the business, it's the golden ticket. It's the official proof they need for their financial audits and for claiming tax credits. Without it, they're in a world of trouble. So getting that MR is a huge deal.
Okay, let's step back for a second and look at the big picture here. What does this one journey really tell us? This brings us to our conclusion: the invisible network and all the complexity that's hidden in every single delivery we get.
The thing is, this one shipment we followed from Pondicherry to Palwal, it's just a single drop in an enormous ocean. There are literally thousands of these journeys crisscrossing the country every single day. This whole system, the tracks, the wagons, the fees, the crazy deadlines, it's basically the circulatory system of our economy. It's pumping the lifeblood of commerce, raw materials and finished products to every single corner of the nation 24/7.
So here's a thought for you. The next time a package shows up on your doorstep, maybe you'll see it a little differently. Will you think about that incredible, complex dance of ticking clocks, special codes, and escalating